Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Naran Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudirayet.
Tato Jaya Mudirayet.
Nashtaprayasu Abhadresu.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Thank you so much for joining this. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, chapter 16. Last Saturday, we completed chapter 15, which is the Purushottama Yoga. And this new chapter, we are going to take the verse number 7 today and discuss the importance of this. Every verse in Bhagavad Gita is important, and this chapter is very, very important. It is identified and is named as the divine and demoniac natures. So let's discuss this very closely so that we understand what Krishna is saying. Pravritim cha nivrittam cha janana vidurasura na socham na pichacharo na satyam te suvidyate.
Na satyam te suvidyate.
Pravritim cha nivritam cha
Pravritim cha nivritim cha
janana vidurasura
janana vidurasura
na socham na pichacharo
na pichacharo
na satyam te suvidyate.
na satyam te suvidyate.
Any Prabhujis or Matajis?
Pravritim cha nivritim cha
Pravritim cha nivritam cha
janana vidurasura
na vidurasura
na saucham na pichacharo
na socham na pichacharo
na satyam te suvidyate.
na satyam te suvidyate.
Pravrutim cha nivrutim cha
Pravritim cha nivritim cha
janana vidurashuraha
Janana
vidurasura
na saucham na pichacharo
na socham na pichacharo
na satyam te suvidyate.
na satyam te suvidyate.
Abruting cha nibruting cha
Pravritim cha nivritim cha
janana vidurasuraha
janana vidurasura
sochang na pichacharo
na socham na pichacharo
na satyam te suvidyate.
na
satyam te suvidyate.
Prabhutim cha nibrutim cha
Pravritim cha nivritam cha
janana vidurasuraha
janana vidurasura
na saucham na pichacharo
na pichacharo
na satyam te suvidyate.
satyam te suvidyate. Thank you so much. Word by word meaning. Prabritim, acting properly.
Pravrutim
Pravrutim,
acting
acting properly.
properly.
Cha, also.
Cha
Cha
also.
also.
Nivritim, not acting improperly.
Nivrutim
not
not
acting
acting
improperly.
improperly.
Cha, and.
Cha
Cha
and
And
Jana, persons.
Jana
Jana
persons.
Jana
persons.
persons.
No, never.
No,
No,
never.
never.
Vidu, no.
We
Vidu.
do
We
know.
do know.
Asura, of demoniac quality.
Asura of
Asura
demonic
of
quality.
demonic quality.
No, never.
No.
No,
No,
never.
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 Saucham, cleanliness.
Shoucham
Saucham
cleanliness.
Shoucham,
cleanliness.
cleanliness.
No, nor.
No,
No,
no.
nor.
Nor.
Api, also.
Api
Api
also.
also.
Cha, and.
Cha.
Cha
Cha
and
and.
Achara, behavior.
Achara
Achara
behavior.
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 No, never.
No,
No.
No,
never.
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 Satyam, truth.
Satyam truth.
Satyam truth.
Truth.
Tesu, in them.
Tesu
In
in
them.
them.
In them.
In them.
In them.
Vidyate, there is.
Vidyate
Vidyate
there is.
there is.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Those who are demoniac
Those who
Those
are
who are
demoniac
demoniac
Demoniac.
do not know
Do
Do
not
not
know
know
what is to be done
what
what
is to be
is to
done
be
to be
done
done.
and what is not to be done.
and what is
and
not to
what
be
is
done.
not to be done.
Neither cleanliness
Neither
Neither
cleanliness
Cleanliness
nor proper behavior
nor
nor
proper
nor
behavior
proper
behavior
behavior
nor truth
nor
nor
truth
truth
is found in them.
is found
found
in
in
them.
them.
in them.
In them.
Any Prabhuji would like to read this page?
In every civilized human society, there is some set of scriptural rules and regulations which is followed from the beginning, especially among the Aryans, those who adopt the Vedic civilization and who are known as the most advanced civilized peoples. Those who do not follow the scriptural injunctions are supposed to be demons. Therefore, it is stated here that the demons do not know the scriptural rules, nor do they have any inclination to follow them. Most of them do not know them, and even if some of them know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They have no faith, nor are they willing to act in terms of the Vedic injunction. The demons are not clean, either externally or internally. One should always be careful to keep his body clean by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anybody else would like to read this page?
As far as internal cleanliness is concerned, one should always remember the holy names of God and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The demons neither like nor follow all these rules for external and internal cleanliness. As for behavior, there are many rules and regulations guiding human behavior, such as the Manu Samhita, which is the law of the human race. Even up to today, those who are Hindu follow the Manu Samhita. Laws of inheritance and other legalities are derived from this book. Now in Manu Samhita, it is clearly stated that a woman should not be given freedom. That doesn't mean that women are to be kept as slaves, but they are like children.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anybody else would like to read this page?
Children are not given freedom, but that doesn't mean that they are kept as slaves. The demons have now neglected such injunctions and they think that women should be given as much freedom as men. However, this has not improved the social condition of the world. Actually, a woman should be given protection at every stage of life. She should be given protection by the father in her younger days, by the husband in her youth, and by the grown-up sons in her old age. This is proper social behavior according to the Manu Samhita. But modern education has artificially devised a puff-up concept of womanly life, and therefore marriage is practically now an imagination in human society. The social condition of women is thus not very good now, Although those who are married are in a better condition than those who are proclaiming this so-called freedom. The demons therefore do not accept any instruction which is good for society, and because they do not follow the experience of great sages and the rules and the regulations laid down by the sages, the social condition of the demoniac people is very miserable.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Let's all chant together so that we save some time. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyana Janashalakaya Shurmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Karivam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataruvyasya Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha and a very powerful verse which especially is very apt for people who are doing sadhana bhakti in their own way. So here Krishna is explaining, just to give a background, in the first 3 verses of this chapter, Krishna is telling the qualities of divine people, the people who are divine in nature, who believe in the right, doing the right thing in life. That's why this chapter is divine and demoniac natures. So Krishna in the first 3 verses of this chapter, in the first 3 verses, giving the qualities of the divine persons. But in the next 20 verses, from 4th onwards, 20 plus verses, Krishna is giving the qualities of demoniac people. This is because Krishna wants to be very clear about the aspects or the natures, how we can identify demoniac qualities and how we can stay away from it. So in this verse specifically, which is one of the 20 plus verses after the 4th verse and onwards, Krishna is explaining about pravritimcha nivritimcha. That means they do not know what to do and they do not know what not to do. Pravritimcha nivritimcha. So they don't know how to act properly and don't know how to not act improperly. Very profound. You think about that first line. Pravritimcha nivritimcha. Sometimes you might have seen there are times when they do not have a predefined principle in life. They do not have a principal goal in life. They do not have a compassionate attitude in life. So these are the qualities of demoniac people. The first thing is, and Krishna is saying, Jana na vidura asura. That means these are the qualities of demoniac people who do not know what to do and what not to do. That means they do not know what is right and what is wrong. And then Krishna goes on to say, nasocham napi chacharu. That means nasocham, that they do not have cleanliness. We'll go deep into that. And napi chacharu, that means they are, Srila Prabhupada is our founder Acharya. He is Acharya because of his achar, because of his behavior. He is our founder Acharya. These people, the demoniac people, they do not have behavior. Krishna is beautifully saying. And then Krishna goes on to say, na satyam tesu vidyate. That means they do not stay in the side of the truth. So Krishna is talking about, 4 high level things. They do not know what is good, what is bad. The second thing, they are not clean. They do not have good behavior, and they don't stay in the side of the truth. So if you think in any aspect, any time of the day, in our dealings in our life, in our relationships, you are confused. Sometimes you do not know what is right and wrong, and you are not staying clean. And Srila Prabhupada goes on to say what the clean is in the purport. And if you are not behaving properly with your family, with your wife or husband, and you are not staying in the side of the truth, these are the 4 indicators that you are not following the right prescribed method. They do not know what to be done and what not to be done. And they do not have cleanliness, and they do not have proper behavior, and they do not stay in the side of the truth. And then Srila Prabhupada goes on to say, talk about women in the society. And that is why Srila Prabhupada is taking it to a higher level as to women in the society has to be protected. When they're born, they have to be protected by the father. When they are married, they have to be protected by the husband. And when they're old, they have to be protected by the sons or daughters in the event they do not have a son. So here, women is misused in the civilization in a greater detail. They're used as pawns. They're used as, the use as things which is very demoniac in nature. And that is where Srila Prabhupada goes on to say uh, why we should be able to protect. If the women in a society are in a good situation, in a good position, that shows the quality of the society. The quality of society is right up there if women are not tortured, are cared, and things like that. So that's where, and just before this verse, just to put some context around, in the prior verse 16.6, Krishna goes on to say, in this world, there are divine and demoniac people, and he is about to explain the qualities of the demoniac in the 6th verse. So, but the bottom line, as is mentioned in the purport, the only thing which identifies whether we follow this 3 or 4 things Srila Prabhupada Krishna is saying in this verse, but bottom line, the difference between divine and demoniac quality lies in one's ability to follow or not follow scriptures. The personalities who follow scriptures, they are divine in nature, and the personalities who do not follow scriptures, they are demoniac in nature. It's as simple as that. Srila Prabhupada has very nicely said it, what Krishna has said in various different verses. So, so the 26 qualities which identifies divine nature are fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, which is one of the 3 which touched your truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, which is achara, once again, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, which is emphasized in the 7th verse, which we're going to deep into, freedom from envy and from the passion of honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to the godly man endowed with divine nature. So these are the 26 qualities which are mentioned in the scriptures. And of these, 3 qualities are mentioned. And the qualities which are very prominent in the demoniac nature is they do not have this 26, but on the top of it, they have kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya. So let's try to discuss a couple of things as in the context of cleanliness, behavior, and truth. So, as you know, when you take a vow to follow regulative principles, the four regulative principles are no meat eating. The no meat eating really translates to compassion. That means if you're not eating, you have an element of compassion. There's no intoxication. No intoxication means you are austere. You're austere enough to resist from the temptation of intoxication. Then no gambling. That means gambling indicates truthfulness or lack of truthfulness. And this truthfulness is mentioned here. And then no illicit sex. Sex is indicated to be unclean. And no illicit sex means you're basically professing cleanness. So out of the four pillars of dharma, which is compassion, austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness, two is described here, cleanliness and truthfulness. So as you can see, if you're following the regulative principles, because the dharma is standing on four pillars, and the four pillars are compassion, austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness. And out of the four pillars, two pillars are touched here, which is cleanliness, proper behavior, and truth. So when a person is not clean, then he ends up having wandering mind where it goes to different places, and it doesn't give a sound consciousness to lead your life. It and that's why Prabhupada goes on to say you have to take bath regularly, you have to brush your teeth regularly, you have to change your clothes more often. So cleanliness is next to godliness. If we are not clean, the basic 101 of deity worship is cleanliness and punctuality. Krishna doesn't want what we give. Krishna desires how we give. So our ability to be clean in our day-to-day life and our ability to be punctual in serving the Supreme is an essence for deity worship. So cleanliness is like godliness. So if we do not follow cleanliness in our homes, and that really reflects on our wandering mind, and it becomes contaminated day-to-day life. And if you are not compassionate to others, if you, like Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the situation of women in this current society who are misused tremendously, who are not protected because they're not weak from a conscious sense, but they're physically weak. And that is why Srila Prabhupada goes on to say they have to be protected. And that protection comes with behavior. If you have good behavior, you must be seeing the TV all the time, and you'd see the women getting dragged in the streets of Delhi and in so many places. These things in this age is unthinkable. So this is a proper behavior achara, which Krishna goes on to say in 16.6. And then the ability to not stay in the truth, that the ability to do politics in our day-to-day life. If you see uh, this, uh, when you think, we think our relatives are wonderfully situated and they are always for us, and there is a lot of family bonding which goes on. But if you think about it, Prahlad Maharaj, when he was born from the mother's womb, he was very conscious. He was hearing the sermons and the scriptures given by Narad Muni. So when he was born, even if he was born to Mother Kayadu in a demoniac family, he had a divine quality. So doesn't mean that divine has to be born from a higher family, middle family, or lower family. Divine qualities are nurtured by your association with books, your association with prasad, association with chanting. And when he was born, he was a tremendously powerful personality, even if he was a little baby. And once his behavior was exemplified, his father, who is supposed to be the closest relative you can think of, he started envying the son. And then he started uh, focusing on a way where he could brainwash him. And then he started beating his son. And then he started punishing his son to such a degree. So, so to think that our relatives will always stay in the side of truth and will never be a problematic for you is actually unthinkable. So that is why in this age the truth is massaged in a way which is very conflicting in nature. Sometimes whenever the questions are asked, it is asked with two, three minds thinking in a way how to trap somebody, how to get the mindset. In this age, information is money, and people are seeking information by which they could gain access to your identity and do whatever they want to do. But the bottom line, what we're trying to discuss here is, if you're not simple, you do not have compassion, and you're not in the side of the truth, even if you think that you are doing the right thing, eventually, in the eyes of the Supreme, you are very much a deceitful person. And that is the reason why when Srila Prabhupada was in India after forming ISKCON, and Srila Prabhupada was discussing that Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna in 45 minutes, because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in so clear terms that Arjuna could understand it in 45 minutes. And a person came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Srila Prabhupada, I can recite Bhagavad Gita in 45 minutes like Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said, can you live Gita for 5 minutes in your life? Then the person was taken aback. This is a real fact. Whenever we are doing this Bhakti Vriksha or doing, this is an eye opener for all of us. That includes the speaker, or that includes the people who have been discussing how we can live the life from the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita by staying clean, by behaving properly with our family members, with our job associates, with our temple associates, and how to stay in the side of the truth all the time. So if we have imbibed Gita in the proper way, we should live Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is not some show off that we are trying to do. All these things, what we're discussing here, we should take it back and lead a life which is better than when you didn't know about Bhagavad Gita. So these are the things. So when you think about some of the scriptural injunctions, which is so nicely spoken, if we are not leading by example, we should aspire to lead by example, because people are looking up at us, and we are human beings, and we have got this human life which is very precious. And in this age, if we cannot resort to the basic human values and stay regulated and uphold the pillars of dharma, two of the pillars are mentioned here. And when you think about the effect of this unclean activity, unclean, unregulated uh, sex, or unregulated eating, unregulated behavior, uh, and staying on the side of the uh, deceit all the time, these things affect your health. If you stay clean, if you're behaving properly, and you're not fighting with anger all around, and you're staying on the side of the truth, these are natural conscious activities which will get your health better. But if you do not stay in the side of cleanliness, proper behavior, or truth, it's going to impact your health. So how long you can keep on doing and be in the side of the deceitful behavior? So what Krishna is saying is actually a medicine for all of us. Medicines are not, because the 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 illusory energy of the Lord is trying to take it away, give us the free will, thinking that we are independent. but we are independent souls, but we have somebody watching us all the time. And that is why if you try to deal with your life in a way which is not prescribed by our scripture. So that is the difference between demoniac and divine qualities. The people who follow scriptures, what is written in scriptures, the 26 qualities Krishna says, and imbibe it in a way which is going to help us, then you're really staying healthy, not just in spiritual life, but in your real life. Whenever you aspire with karma, trying to get more and more, have anger, have greed, lobha, mother aspiring to have, so many uh, fun things, but with a negative consequence, moho, having desire to, give the fund and money to the progenies and matsarya, then our health goes down, and indirectly we do not live by the scriptures, and these are demoniac qualities which is going to take us south. And more we align ourselves with compassion, with gentlemanliness, with cleanliness, uh, shun anger, renunciate, stay in a calm environment, and we don't find fault in others, then we lead a very good life. And we always derive pleasure in serving others, and that gives us some real nice positive challenges in life to thrive and be peace, and eventually, uh, as you know, serving uh, will give you the element of happiness and bliss you all are seeking in your life. So we can go on and on, but very profound verse which touches on three very powerful things. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to open up for any comments, corrections, and reflections. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I have
Krishna.
a question, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
As mentioned by Prabhupada, I mean, the basic principles like no meat eating, no intoxication, other stuffs are there. But usually we Vaishnav Sampradaya, we don't eat onion garlic also. So is it something that is, but finally it is a plant, right? So from where exactly it has been originated that one should not eat onion and garlic?
Yeah. So, onion and garlic, even if they are not from a flesh or some animal origin, it is a plant origin. Um, it gives the tamasic angle because of the pungent smell of onion and garlic. It gives the tamasic angle. That's one thing. And also, if you look at, even if they are plants, but when you look at the chemical composition, it has the elements which gives you the pungent smelling aspects, which will deride your mind, or rather uh, create tamasic, sorry, tamasic or ignorant feelings, and you dwell on. And secondly, I have also read in the scriptures, Prabhuji, that that onion and garlic are have emanated. I have to correct if you forgive me if I'm wrong. Have emanated from Rahu and Ketu. I don't know which one is what. From the bones of one of these personalities, demoniac personalities, Rahu or Ketu, garlic has come white, and from the blood of another personality, the onion has come. So it has roots. It is mentioned in the scriptures, and because of, maybe indirectly because of that, we are recommended But essentially, I do not want to magnify that angle, but I wanted to magnify the tamasic angle of onion and garlic, which is why it is not recommended. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody wants to add or opine?
Also, Prabhuji, from an Ayurvedic perspective, Dandavat Pranam all Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna.
From a physiological perspective, also controls the acid. Means it imbalance. The imbalance of acidity levels in our stomach is also it makes high, Prabhuji, onion and garlic. From a Ayurvedic perspective also. So that's why they ask. Of course, garlic has some other good effects also, Prabhuji, on like blood pressure and those things. But mainly stomach acidity levels, which is like the fire, the Agni of the one of the five. So
Right.
that's why
So,
it
Prabhu,
helps.
right. So, Prabhu, you mentioned about the advantages of garlic in cardio heart aspect, but there are equivalents of that or comparisons of that in cardio, which also helps. So yes, chemically they may have some benefits, but from a sattvic perspective, from a goodness perspective, there are better equivalents of garlic for heart, which are also recommended. Just I wanted to add, because we get that question all the time, why we are not taking meat products, because it gets you protein. But if you think about it, if you want protein, we have a lot of protein in pulses, a lot of protein in paneer, and they're so tasty. It's so mouth-watering. You really do not want cruel. So we get these questions all the time. I met somebody, he says, okay, I'm 70 years old and I need protein, and how can I do it without that? And our response from that side is, if you really want good protein, paneer is top in the world, and the pulses are full of protein. So there are alternates, and here we are following the scriptures more importantly, and because these are the recommendation from not Srila Prabhupada, not from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's from thousands and thousands years of research from our saintly persons. So it definitely have some correctness, and even if we can't find the correctness now because of a lack of our ability to understand, actually after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we'll find that it is right. Ekadasi will argue that we shouldn't do, but when a Japanese scientist gets a Nobel Prize by saying the benefits of fasting, and then we realize, hey, Ekadasi is good enough. So Srila Prabhupada did preaching in India, nobody listened to him. He came here, he started ISKCON, then when he went back with a bunch of American devotees, everybody started understanding. So it's the optics, how we present the situation, and following the scriptures is always helpful. So, sorry to interject, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
No, Prabhuji, I was also telling the same, that it is mainly the tamasic, the mode of passion and ignorance. That's what the drive. Like in the, I think in the 17th chapter somewhere, Krishna has explained what foods to eat and what food not to eat. And based on our food also, we get these three modes. We acquire the modes, Prabhuji. So onion and garlic mainly, Prabhuji, I wanted to tell that they are very tamasic basically. Though they may have good effect to some extent, but the tamasic effect is much more predominant than the little good effect they have. That was all.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, the tamasic effect is the main one, Prabhuji, why we should not eat onion and garlic.
Yes, yes.
And of course, there is one very good video, Prabhuji, by Amarinder Prabhu on onion and garlic, Prabhuji. It's a 1 hour. He gives the whole history behind, right from the Roman civilization to and Vedic civilizations, Prabhuji. So you can watch that, Prabhuji. That will tell why we should not eat onion and garlic.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Any other comments, Prabhu, about this verse 16.7? You generally have your expert opinion. You have any comments?
No, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji, I wanted to same reinforce the same what you have told, that the four when Mother Earth and the Dharma bull was they were discussing, Prabhuji, the four legs of the bull basically are almost described here, Prabhuji, in this verse. Like the four are cleanliness, austerity, truthfulness, and kindness, right, Prabhuji? Those, so in this verse is basically what Krishna is trying to tell us is that, Prabhuji, that though we are living in this age where three of the legs are broken of the dharma, basically, right, Prabhuji? The bull, which is three legs are broken by doing all this meat eating and all other intoxication and these stuff, Prabhuji. So Krishna is saying that still there is a scope for us to survive in this at these times where the characteristic of the Kali Yuga is with the three legs broken, the dharma is standing only on one leg, some truth, because truth is absolute, so some truth is existing on which this bull is this Kali Yuga is standing. And so he is giving us a way to how to survive this perfect storm which has been created by the Kali Yuga by in this verse, Prabhuji. That's how I correlated when you were explaining, Prabhuji. Wanted to add that part.
Yes, yes. Yes, and so when Parikshit Maharaj, this Bhagavatam was spoken, Parikshit Maharaj towards the end of the time when the Yuga is about to transition from Dwapar to Kali, he saw that there are people who are beating a bull who is supposed to be the father of all the progenitors. Is the father of the the husband of the cow, and
Dharma.
he was nothing but dharma, and they're beating so much that they beat three legs out of it. He was just standing on one leg. So because of that, standing on one leg, we are surviving in this Kali Yuga, and and uh, and we should attempt to sort of do some surgery or whatever, so that we reinvigorate that other three legs, the four we talked about, so that we sort of foster uh, consciousness in this world. And the bull, who is the father of, who is now none other than dharma, and do all kind of. There are a lot of people who are trying to use these scriptures for the benefit. They will use two verses of the 7 verses Bhagavad Gita and try to say Krishna said something, and that is not the right perspective. So whenever we try to hear half knowledge, they say little knowledge is dangerous. So when a person is blind and he holds the tail of the elephant, he thinks it's a snake, and a person who holds the leg thinks that it's a pillar. So we have to get the total package, and that's why there are so many God men in India or any other places who are not putting forth the right message. Srila Prabhupada put the right message. It's a very difficult message. In order to maintain Krishna consciousness, you have to chant certain rounds, you have to follow this regulation, and in every step of the way, but when you come back winner from Maya, every day is a win. And that feeling of win is tremendous. And once you think about what Srila Prabhupada has done, Srila Prabhupada has created multiple generals who can be there everywhere and profess. So it's actually a fight. If you look at about it, 13% of the world's population is vegetarian, 87% from one of the studies, are non-vegetarian. So it's not that we are minority or we're trying to profess a minority, but it is the right thing to do, and there is nothing harm in professing that, and and following the scriptures for the benefit of the upright of the dharma, as this verse is so beautifully explaining. Any other comments? Any other thoughts? The best part of the class is the discussion, if you think about it, because Krishna completed everything in 45 minutes, and Arjuna was convinced, ready to hold the Gandiv and shoot. And it's all about dwelling on the greatest scripture in the world. So when we discuss, it definitely gives us that element of confidence, happiness, bliss, a real meaning. It gives a meaning of our life to lead the life in a unique way. Any other comments? Any other thoughts?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. When are you coming back, Prabhu? February or March?
No, I will come around April or May.
April or May. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How are you doing? I'm sure you're doing very well.
Yes, okay, Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. We are all praying for your well-being, happiness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other comments, Mataji, Govil Mataji? You have anything, or Priyanka Mataji, Todlake Prabhu, Niranjan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have one question. Can you explain about the illusion part? I
Illusion part,
didn't.
yes. So illusion, Mataji, is nothing but Maya. So what happens is whenever we are the marginal energy of the Lord. Marginal means we're the tatastha Sakti of the Lord. So you think about a beach, right? You have the land and you have the water. So we are actually spirit souls, but we are the marginal energy of the Lord. The reason why we are in this material world is once in the past we are all part and parcel of the Supreme, but by virtue of our past deeds, we wanted to be independent. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is very merciful. So he said, yeah, go lead your life. So we are here by our own choice. But now with association of scriptures, with association with Guru Sadhu and Shastra, we are realizing that we did a mistake, and we are trying to align ourselves and want to go back to God. That's why we all are here. We all are trying to glorify the Lord, because when Lord is glorified, when the Lord's message is being understood properly, there is compassion, kindness, and the good qualities. So, but the thing which is really taking us away, even in this world, is Maya. Let's give an example. So, say for example, we are there is a mention that anybody who wakes up after sunrise, his lifespan goes down. This is a principle, okay? But we always, with the warm comforter we always try to snooze our alarm. 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock. So we get a constant sense of trigger which takes us away from the right. Anything which takes us away from the scriptures or from Krishna is, in my definition, illusion. Because Krishna is the truth. Krishna is the ultimate truth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is ultimate truth. He is the super soul and we are soul. We are part and parcel of the super soul. So the ultimate truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in this age, let me try to give an example. We have a devotee, we have a little boy in our temple. I'll show you if you come to the temple. You tell him Chintamani, then he will start the Brahma Samhita, Chintamani Prakasha, and he will start because he has by-hearted Brahma Samhita. And when Govindam Adipurusam song he has by-hearted, he utters, he generates a personality. Okay, so he has a personality, but the Mayavadis, the impersonalist, says the God doesn't have a personality. How can you even think of? God doesn't have a personality. The kid has a personality. You have a personality. I have a personality. So there is this illusory energies of the Lord which are working to take us away. So anything which takes us away from the Supreme is illusion or illusionary energy of the Lord. And we can go on and on, Mataji, but I just wanted to stay there for the sake of time, that anything which takes us away from the Supreme is illusion. Illusion is just like in a desert, you're seeing water, you get there, there is no water, it's sand only. So exactly like that, anything which takes us away from the Supreme is illusion or illusory energy of the Lord, which is working all the time, exactly like it doesn't allow us to wake up at 5 o'clock. It tells us that Krishna is not a person, he is Nirakar. These are all illusory energies of the Lord working against us. And it's testing us. They're basically testing us. And the only way to unshackle that is to think that Krishna is a person, he likes to eat, he likes to dress and shringar, and we should serve. Just like if I say I have headache and somebody goes and get Amritanjan, he were basically serving. Just knowing that I have headache is not good enough. It is the expression which tightens that bhakti with the Lord. And anything which takes us closer is you are basically averting Maya, and anything which takes us away is the illusory energy of the Lord. Is that understandable, Mataji?
Yeah, very well, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining with such good examples.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody wants to add to
Yes,
Mataji's
Prabhuji,
question?
illusion, Prabhuji, I wanted to add, illusion that is in simple terms, as you explained, Prabhuji, that which is not. For example, the reflection of the tree in the water, the reflection of the tree in the water. So the reflection is the illusory. That's why we call it as virtual in physics. It is the illusion that which is not the object. So this illusion, that's what Prabhupada has explained, and what Krishna is trying to say. This world is temporary and illusory. But this is not false. It is, this world is not false. That means, as Prabhuji has explained, there is a what analogous, there is an analogous characteristic even in the spiritual world for this. For example, the hatred, the love, the enmity, all this is there even in the spiritual world. But what we are facing here is an illusion. It is a reflection of that in this world. So that which is not, we think, like as Prabhuji explained, mirages in the desert, they are just the refraction of the sun, the refraction of the basically light. They are the refractory multiple refraction, right? But actually there is no water there. That is what the illusion is. So in terms of, okay, it is easy to explain, say this, but the illusion what Krishna is trying to tell us through the Bhagavad Gita is that we are this body. That is the biggest illusion we have. That because the moment we say we are this body, then everything in relation to the body, we start to own it, and we start to dominate it. But if we think that we are not this body, but we are the part and parcel of the spirit soul, then most of our shackles, most of our thinking becomes very easy, and life gets easy. So that's what I wanted to add, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And if there is no other question, we can end or comments. So let's pray at the lotus feet all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpataru Vasya Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो वैष्णव वृंद की जय भगवत गीता की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Jai.